Good morning. Today we are taking a deep dive into Think Well Crypto to dig up some videos that I posted a long time ago that I think are going to be relevant to my discussion today. And oh, something went wrong. Okay, we had to flip over to YouTube here. It's a short, so here it is.
And the thing is, in the traditional world, people comply and they follow these rules that are outdated, and they do that until they drive everything into the ground. So when the men of the mind remove themselves, then everything falls apart. And unfortunately, sometimes things have to fall apart so that they can be put back together better. Web3 provides an opportunity for innovators to come together and to make those changes that will potentially change the world. I think it's going to be a bumpy ride. And I think we're going to see some really big changes. And I think that that can be both exciting and scary. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with narrative and literature.
So this is me talking about Atlas Shrugged, and this is an old video, so I'm smiling. So it's also one of my most viewed videos, and I think it's because of Atlas Shrugged. So Atlas Shrugged is a novel that I've talked about a couple times on this channel. I highly recommend looking it up. But what I'm talking about here is the men of the mind leaving. So there's this thing that goes on where we kind of do things until they stop working. So if you can anticipate when something is going to stop working, then you can get ahead of the curve. And the men of the mind are the people that do anticipate these things and do innovate. But the problem is when you're the first mover, when you're the one that's making the changes at the start, people don't like that, right? Like people like things to stay the same. Change is difficult for everyone. And so these innovators have to fight against the tide to make the changes. And so when I'm saying here that people like run things into the ground, it's sort of like we'll keep doing the same thing, the same thing, and the same thing until we're convinced that it's no longer working. So some people have a bit more foresight in that, and so they will move sooner. This is what I'm referring to as the men of the mind by connecting it to Atlas Shrugged.
And today I want to talk about God's Gulch. It's from a book, don't worry about that. But it's a place where all the men of the mind withdraw themselves away from society. They go on strike essentially, so that they can work together and build their own community because they're tired of the rest of the world. And the thing is, in the traditional world, people comply and
Okay. So what it says on the screen there is that things change over time, but we like to continue doing the same thing that we've always done because it makes us feel safe. We try and force outdated structures onto new situations, sometimes without enough critical thinking. So this is just my opinion, obviously. But as I was saying, right? So the first movers are the one that see the need for the change ahead of time before things have started to get rocky enough that the general population sees it. And what's my point in this? Well, my point is that my whole channel is about encouraging self reflection and improving your communication. And this is one thing that I want you to start questioning. So when we make decisions and they're based on fear, then we end up compromising on, in my opinion, oftentimes morals. So you oftentimes have the chance to do something that's right and then do something that's easy. And I know I'm not, this isn't like groundbreaking information. But I mean, I'm talking about Web3 here as well because it is innovative, and a lot of my Think Well Crypto channel is dedicated to helping people understand why Web3 is important and encouraging them to learn about it before the Web 2, if you will, before things run themselves into the ground and you're forced to move. So crypto is one aspect of Web 3, but blockchain technology is a difficult concept to understand. And so this is just another way to encourage people to investigate it before it is too late. I think that's it for this one. So check out the other video about Galt's Gulch, the Medium article, and I will see you soon.